What up? What up? What up, Viking fans and football fans? Thank you for tuning in to the Skol State of Mind podcast. As you already know, I'm your host, D Woods. And if you haven't already, please hit the notification bell, like, subscribe. You already know I got to get out the way first. But I got a special guest, my boy Mike C. You probably see us going back and forth on Twitter all the time in spaces or in the comments. But let's get into it. What's up, Mike? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. We're 2-1, hopefully 3-1 after this week. So let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So I don't know how you want to start. You want to start with the game preview stuff, or you want to start with the outside things that's going on. So let's just get into it. Let's just get right back in. I'm gonna just call it the McCarthy Conundrum. All right, Mike. Let me know how you feel about the situation, because I'm gonna be honest with you. After a couple of days and maybe me sleeping on it and thinking about it, like my view has changed a little bit. But I'll let you go first. How you feel about the situation with JJ McCarthy, Carson Wentz, Kevin O'Connell, all that crazy stuff that's been going on for the past couple of days?
Sure. I'll start here before I get into my actual take. At the end of the day, no matter if the team's 4-1, 3-1, 2-2, or 4-2-3 actually. No. Yeah, it'd be 2-3. We don't want that, but you get my point. I honestly believe this needs to be Kevin's decision. And I've said this throughout the entire time when we talked, even on Spaces. Whatever Kevin does, the fan base needs to back. Even if you don't like it, if our head coach makes the decision, you got to believe in this guy and trust him, because he hasn't failed us. He's had 2 13-win seasons in 3 years. And the only year there was an outlier, he lost his starting quarterback. He lost his starting wide receivers. The team was decimated by the end of the year, basically at every position throughout the roster. There was nothing Kevin could really do by the end of the year. Whatever Kevin decides to do at quarterback, to me, I'm going to support. But since we're talking about it, I'm going to continue to look at it week by week. How does Carson Wentz perform? If he steps up in Dublin and gets us a win and looks better this week with his former Colts teammate Ryan Kelly at center this week, which I think will actually help him a little bit. Honestly, I'm not even going to sit here and act like I fully remembered that. I was on Twitter today, like Ryan Kelly was talking about it. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, they were teammates in Indianapolis. It feels like forever because how many teams Carson has been on now. But the way I look at it is like this. It's a week-by-week proposition. If he keeps earning it and he gets us to 4-1 at the bye, I just don't see how you can go back to McCarthy unless you are fully 100% confident he's going to look leaps and bounds better than that home opener against the Falcons. Because if he doesn't, if you expect him to look rather similar to what he's looked out of 7 out of his 8 first NFL quarters of his career, you just cannot go back to him if you're 4-1 at the bye. Guys like Harrison Smith, guys like Adam Thielen, Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, they signed up to this team to be a contending team. And if they continue to go on a winning run with Wentz at quarterback, you cannot just go back to a guy who, in McCarthy, who scored 6 points this last game as a starter. And just to be clear, for full transparency, I am not saying turn on JJ McCarthy, that JJ McCarthy sucks, that JJ McCarthy's a bust, all this garbage I've seen online. We're not there. But understand the guy is still coming off a torn meniscus from a year ago, and he's got to build his confidence up. And if you throw him back in there against the Eagles off the bye, especially if you're 4-1, it's even more pressure than that week 1 game against Chicago on Monday Night Football. It is. Make no mistake about it. The Vikings, if they go back to him, they better be extremely confident he's going to perform right back out of the gate. Because if he doesn't, oh boy, it's going to be weird, because then you've made a complete mess of it. Because if you could commit to Wentz, it's done. Like, you've done it, people will understand why you did it. But if you go back, you are in a difficult position trying to go back to Wentz after that.
Okay. I hear you. So you already know I disagree. But one part I want to pick out of there of me disagreeing is the aspect of the veterans on this team about how they, want to win. I don't think Hargrave and Allen, they were brought in here to help this team win, right? I think they kind of already knew off top that JJ McCarthy was going to be the starter for this team. And it's just kind of weird that we have these conversations about, Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz has only been with the team, I would say, like less than a month. So these guys, if you say these guys like Hargrave, Allen, Kelly, Fry, they didn't sign up. They didn't come here to sign to play with Carson Wentz. They signed here to play with McCarthy and whatever the GM sold them. And I just think, like, at the end of the day, this is the NFL. So you have to be kind of professional going forward. Like, they understand, like, sometimes it's like a quarterback carousel. They understand that. So I don't think the veterans on this team would be like, oh, we can't go back to JJ McCarthy. We're trying to win with Wentz. I don't think I think that's not going to be a problem, especially they voted him captain. Now, another thing too, what you was talking about is if he comes back for the Eagles, right? I understand the Eagles are the defending, Super Bowl champs, but at the same time, it's like you can't pick any better time to put him in here throwing out this season. You get what I'm saying? Like, either you put him in there, he sinks or swim, you're gonna know. And I just feel like it's easier for us to just throw him back in there, see what he has. If he does not play good, then you can have this conversation. But I just really think at the end of the day, you got to put him in as soon as he's healthy. And I don't think it's like, in my opinion, it shouldn't be that much of a conversation about it. So these two games right now before the bye week, we got the Steelers and we got the Browns, right? And then we got a gauntlet the next 4 games, right? You got the Eagles, you got the Chargers, you got the Lions, and you got the Ravens. So I'm gonna ask this question though to you, Mike. As of right now, what are you waiting for to put him in? Like, if you're gonna put him back in, you're gonna put him back in. Like, anywhere it goes, because the schedule it's just surrounded by playoff teams and projected playoff teams the rest of the season. I would say the only team we play that's probably not going to make the playoffs are probably going to be the Cowboys and the Giants. But in the Bears again. But other than that, you got the Packers, you got the Steelers, you got the Commanders, you got the Lions twice. So it's like, when is the best time to put him back in? I just feel like you shouldn't lose your job off of an injury. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. I don't even think Carson Wentz played that well to begin with. And this is something I thought about today. Is maybe Kevin O'Connell is smart enough to, I would say, like, I wouldn't say hold Carson Wentz back, but kind of like piggyback him a little bit, hold his hand while his offense just to get through these 2 games and then come back with McCarthy. That's just what I got.
The thing I'm saying is, my main point is, if you go back to McCarthy for the Eagles game, you've put yourself in a ridiculously difficult situation if he struggles. Because if he struggles, what kind of message does it send if you go back to Wentz? That's my point. I'm not saying at any point of the year this year, I don't know how long Wentz is going to perform. But the way I'm saying is, unless Wentz plays so poorly to where you don't have a choice but to go back to McCarthy, I don't think it does anyone any good throwing McCarthy back out there for another 10 to 15 to 17 point performance and another loss. Because
so I'm glad you said that about the point about him playing better. I mean, it's kind of hard to really like gauge what's better because McCarthy has played so poor. You get what I'm saying? So anything that Wentz gives you is better than what McCarthy's giving you the first 2 games, So,
but that's the problem. And this is what I'm saying. And I feel for JJ McCarthy. I do. It's a very unique, rare, weird situation. We don't really have seen it. It's basically a situation never had before in NFL history where you draft a guy this high and he's not healthy. He's missed 19 now of his first 21 games. Like, that's not Kevin's fault. That's not McCarthy's fault. Well, to an extent. I mean, he should learn how to run, but I digress. I go on that for another 5 minutes before people say, "Oh, you're just a hater," and which I'm not. That's the first thing from the truth.
I mean, but say that about Kevin O'Connell. So I mean,
I've just, my thing is, my overarching point is simple. If you go back to McCarthy and he plays bad again, then what? Because it is going to be, especially if you're 4-1 at the bye. What do? if you lose the Eagles, you lose the Chargers, you just go back to Wentz at 4-3. This is the thing. If he doesn't win, there's no good way to go about this. That's why I've said, well, you know what? At least you could ride the hot hand. He was hurt. It's not like you truly benched him. He was injured. That's my point. And I think McCarthy could understand that. But if you play him, you go back to him, and he struggles. Just to be clear, I want him to throw for 300 yards the next time I see him. Right. It's not a agenda here or any type of negativity. I want him to play well. He's our first top 10 pick for a quarterback in franchise history. I want this to work. But I was the one that told a lot of people I was hesitant about playing him from day one this season. And people hated on me for it and said, well, Rodgers is garbage. Rodgers is terrible. This, that, and the other. And by the way, I'm not saying Rodgers is a superstar. I know he's not the same player he used to be. But I did have concerns about McCarthy coming back off a torn meniscus when he's never played an NFL game, because the jitters, anxiety, all of the butterflies you're going to have, plus a rehab on top of it, he's never had a proper normal NFL offseason from beginning to end. And that is concerning for him. It's not ideal. I just feel like had he been healthy last year and Sam had been, just took the job, whatever, that's different. He hasn't been healthy. And it does muddy the waters. It does. I'm not saying that if we go back to McCarthy, it couldn't work. Of course it could. But it is a risk. And that's all I've been trying to tell people is it's not, a very easy decision either way. It's not. It's more difficult than people realize.
So this is what I would do. This is the David Woods school of thought. If I was Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, this is what I would do, right? So Jason McCarthy's hurt. He's supposed to be out 2 to 4 weeks. He's already missed one game. So maybe he's out 3 to 4 at this point right now, right? So this is what I would do going forward. And this includes next year. All right, this is what I would do. I would, regardless, if I'm Kevin O'Connell, I said, regardless what happens on the field with Carson Wentz, if he plays out of his mind, he plays well or whatever, I'm letting him know, hey, I'm going back to McCarthy first as soon as he's healthy. Might not be after the bye. I'm letting Carson know I'm going to McCarthy when he's healthy, just to give you the up and up. But I'm gonna put a bug in there and say, look, if he starts to struggle again, he has a short leash at this point, right? Like just like you said, if he struggles again and this offense isn't moving and he's starting to be, deteriorate this team, I'm gonna pull him, I'm gonna put you in, right? And then we're just gonna ride whatever happens then, right? So that's what I would do. Then if that happens, what I would do is I'll go in Kwesi's office and I say, look, we got all these draft picks next year. Let's draft a quarterback in the 4th round. Just to have him, a young quarterback on the 4th round. That way, when you start the offseason, you will have 3 quarterbacks, vying for a starting position. You have Brosmer, you have McCarthy, and you have somebody else. I just remember watching the interview with Ken Norton Jr., and he was just saying how what kept him on edge the whole time in the NFL. I'm not sure if it was with the Cowboys or whatever, but he said that they drafted a linebacker every season, and then made sure that he was actually on the up and up every season because he didn't know when he was going to lose his job. And I think I don't want to say this is going to be a year to where it's a throwaway year, but it's going to take some time to figure out what's going on with McCarthy and see what's going on. I just feel like I agree with you to the extent if he's not playing well, then maybe you got to pull him and just play Wentz for the best of the team, and then just draft a quarterback next year and make them all compete. That way you kind of save face. What you think about that?
I get what you're saying. My question is, before I get it, how many games is the leash though? That's where that's the most difficult question for me. How long is the leash? How many games do we go?
Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry, Mike.
Hey, am I in? Hello?
Yeah, you're in. I just
okay.
There we go. There you go. Go ahead.
I'm being too negative, folks. It's my fault. I'm being too negative. It's all my fault. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
I tried to save my camera.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I know. I'm just kidding.
2 games.
2 games? Okay.
Because the reason why I'm saying the 2 games and why it's so important to me, because we know he's going against like some of the best teams in the league after the bye. So I'll just either you sink or you swim. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't play the way you played against Atlanta and the Bears against the Eagles because they're a Super Bowl team. You know, they know how to win games. You can't do that against the Chargers because Harbaugh has his team coached up the right way. So I'm just saying, like, whenever he comes back, the next 2 he plays 2 games. The first game, I'm going to give a benefit of the doubt, get the rust out. Second game, and if he still doesn't have it together, then we can see that, hey, you played 4. There's a problem. Now I got to pull you. Now you're not ready. I'm cool with that. I just don't want him to not be able to start because, you know, he got the injury, and it's whatever. Injuries happen. But I'm just saying, like, when I think about it the most, I think that's the best case scenario because it ain't no cupcakes left on the schedule no more. It's really not. So,
but the NFL. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no cupcakes. So it's like either you sink or you swim. Like some people say, you know, pressure bust pipes, or you're gonna make diamonds. So he's gonna have to perform. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so this thing I'll mention about the cupcakes. Then I'll get back to your initial point. There's no cupcakes basically in the NFL. They're almost there's almost none. I mean, we saw the Bears. Everyone thought, oh, McCarthy's going to look so good. They're on their 4th, 5th string corner. It's not that cool. We struggled to the 4th quarter to get over the line there. This is the way I look at what you're saying. I get what you're saying about putting him back out there. I just think it's in some ways, if Wentz gets us to 4-1, it is kind of a lose-lose scenario for the team, unless Wentz just plays out of his mind, they stick to him. It's not ideal. It's not. I wish he didn't get hurt. I wish he didn't get hurt a year ago. It's difficult because, like I said, these are an unforeseen type of circumstances for a player. Forget about your quarterback. Like it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in your first 2 years to miss 19 games of your first 21. It doesn't happen. And with him, it has. It's not good. The other thing I want to say too, because I keep saying, seeing people say, well, if Darrisaw was just back, that wouldn't happen. No. I'm sorry. And Justin Skol was not good, to be clear. It was not simply Darrisaw being in there at left tackle.
No, it wasn't.
It was so many plays left on the field from Kevin, play calling wise. It was bad decision making by McCarthy. It was also bad O-line play, undisciplined penalties. You name it. Those first 2 weeks had everything. It was bad everywhere.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when you saying that everything was bad everywhere, that's what I'm saying. You give them 2 games. You give them the benefit of the doubt, the first one, and you figure it out because now Darrisaw's back. I will hope that Donovan Jackson will be back. Addison suspension is over. So I just really hope that, like, the thing that we're not talking about too is like we keep saying like, oh, McCarthy's gonna have all these players, when he comes back. Let's hope nobody else gets hurt.
Of course, yeah.
Let's hope everybody, stays afloat. But I kind of first I was just like all the way one side, like, no, he has to start. And then I think about it, after a couple of days, I'm like, okay, I kind of get I kind of get where you're coming from, but you gotta throw him back in there. And if he does not perform and the offense gets stagnant again, even when Kevin O'Connell dials it down, you gotta pull him. And I remember it was something that Ashley said a couple of weeks ago that McCarthy needs to learn how to lose. That's big for players. That's big for players that has never lost on any level. And how I wouldn't say everything has been given to them, but they've been the guy everywhere they went. And now it's kind of like, I just believe when you want to be great, you got to put in the extra work when nobody's looking. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you saw the quarterback thing that had Pat Mahomes. He was putting in work outside of the regular practice to get together, And Patrick Mahomes is, quote unquote, the best quarterback in this league. So you got to do stuff like that. So I'm coming a little bit. I'm coming towards your side a little bit, Mike, because I want this team to win. But enough about.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't help myself.
Go ahead.
At least I got you off the boat saying that 150 yard average is okay, and we just ride it out every game. At least I got you off the boat there. I'll take. To me, that's a win.
I would love to run it all game, but we only got one running back to do it, so I can't have that right now.
All right.
All right. So let's move on to the Vikings and Steelers preview. How do you feel about this game? What, like, just initial thoughts on this game? Like, what you think about this game?
Funny enough, I actually feel like it's very similar to when we played the Jets with Aaron Rodgers in London a year ago.
Last year.
Their O-line's not very good. Their weapons are pretty, top heavy. It's like one receiver, really.
Yeah.
Their running game's not very good. And their defense hasn't been very good, especially against your favorite position, the running backs. I really feel like the Vikings only, and I'm not even trying to be biased. I know the Steelers have some talented players. I get that. I surely feel like it's similar to the Atlanta game where the only way I really see us losing is if we beat ourselves. Because if we're being real, I look back and I honestly forgot. Atlanta only scored 22 points. And we could not sustain a drive the entire game, basically. And they only scored 22 points. The defense has been as good as advertised basically all year. I know people say, they couldn't stop the run against Atlanta. They were exhausted by the end of that game. My God, it was 3-and-out city. I mean, it was 3-and-out city the entire day. And I get it wasn't perfect last week. There were some 3-and-outs for Wentz as well. And if it wasn't for Isaiah Rodgers' heroics, I am worried how that game could have went for a little bit. Not going to lie. But at the same time, I'm not really worried about the Steelers. I think they're going to give up sacks. Dallas Turner, this is your moment, kid. Andrew Van Ginkel's out. Go and get a 2-sack game so I could stop hearing about Jared Verse. I am sick and tired about hearing about Jared Verse. The guy is much older. And
Mike, much older.
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
By the time he's on his second contract, he's going to be damn near 30 years old. I don't think enough people understand the difference there. And Dallas has shown 9 pressures in 3 games. I don't know what people expect from a 22-year-old edge rusher. He's going to grow into it. That's how this works.
Yeah.
And the same thing with McCarthy. That's why I've always said with McCarthy, this isn't a hatred thing. I know there's going to be bust the road. It just can't be that low.
Yeah.
That was the thing I was trying to tell people. There's levels to it. Did I expect? I was the one telling more people. You were there in the spaces when I was saying to people, 3,200 yards is a win for McCarthy. Because we was like, oh, Mike, he needs to over 37, 3,800. Relax.
24 touchdowns. Yeah, I remember those.
So, people are going crazy. But it's the same with Turner. Turner in year 1, he was young and inexperienced, but I never lost any doubt. He's shown it last year. When he played, he had the pick on Geno Smith. He made good splash plays throughout the season. I think he had 3.5 sacks. Like, he showed you something. It wasn't like he was completely useless and an unproductive player. He just didn't get snaps because he was behind 2 top 10 edges in the entire league, and Jonathan Kennard and Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yeah.
If Jared Verse was there in that position, he wouldn't have been given the production the Rams gave him and the snaps he had. And by the way, I don't know if this gets talked about enough with Jared Verse. He had that great playoff game against us, so everyone props him up in our fan base. The guy had 8.5 sacks his rookie season. It wasn't like he was a phenomenal phenom like Myles Garrett or TJ Watt. That's not what happened there. By the way, just to be clear, Jared Verse, very good player, very solid player, but he's not an all-pro either. Let's chill about the way people are making it out. And that Kwesi gave out too much for Dallas Turner. Give the guy a chance before you rip him down.
It's just Viking fans in general. Like they see Jared Verse and they see like, oh my God, he's making plays and he's doing this, he's doing that. And just like you said, they never say anything about how old he is. Like he's older. He's coming to this league basically a damn near grown man, from college. And Dallas Turner, I think Dallas Turner and McCarthy were the 2 youngest players in the draft last year. And I just feel like I don't understand it with Viking fans. It's like they want everything like right now. And it's like, come on, give Dallas Turner a chance. And it's like, if you really think about it, I'm happy we have Dallas Turner right now because we were fortunate last year that Van Ginkel or Grenard didn't even suffer any injuries. And I'm feeling like Van Ginkel this season, I'm not saying he's injury prone, but it seems like he has some nagging things going on that he has to get through. And it's a benefit right now that you have a young guy that's in the development stage in Dallas Turner that you can deploy, and you can't be like, oh my God, like what's going on? Especially like Patrick Jones isn't here anymore. So he's like the next guy up. I just don't understand it with Dallas Turner. It's like, I just sometimes like I say off of Twitter because it's like it's always something like, oh, this guy's a bust. This guy's a bust. It's like, come on, like the kid hasn't even like really got his feet wet in this league. But to go back to this game though, Mike, I think this is a must-win game. I think these next two games are must-win. I mean, I understand it's early in the season, but this is how I look at it. We already talked about the schedule when we talked about McCarthy and we talked about Wentz. The schedule is going to get harder. So you need to make sure you stack as many wins as possible because you don't know what's going to happen after the bye. Eagles, Chargers, like you got to be hoping to split some of these games, or still one here and there. So you can't really like slip up against these two teams that really aren't playing for anything. That's kind of one of the reasons why like I'm not upset anymore, but why I was so disappointed about the Falcons game because that was the game. Maybe if they scored a touchdown, they probably could have changed the trajectory of that game and won that game. But this is must win for me. Like I understand like Aaron Rodgers is older and everything like that. He can't really move. Okay, don't let him beat you. Like just don't let him beat you. Like go out there, smack them in the mouth, run the ball. Let Carson Wentz do whatever he needs to do to get it done, get a couple of touchdowns here and there. One thing I do want to see, I want to see Jordan Addison featured, not a lot, but I need him to be featured just so he can get his game feet ready because we're going to need him to be a whole lot better. But it's just like, speaking of that, you were right, Mike. I gotta admit, when I was wrong, you were right. What's going on with Adam Thielen? What are we getting? What are we getting for Adam Thielen? Nothing. And I think that was something you said when we got Adam Thielen about even with the trading the picks and is it a fourth, is it a fifth, is it a pick swap? It's like maybe we should have just stayed pat because he's not. I mean, outside of the 2-point conversion in Chicago, basically, that's about it. And I think I'm forcing myself, Mike, to believe this. Maybe Adam Thielen, his best attribute is not on the field anymore. Maybe he's basically helping these other receivers develop. Nah, they got Keenan McCardell for that. So I'm not saying I'm off Thielen, but I'm just saying, like, now that Addison's back, Thielen, the first 3 games, hasn't really done anything. Maybe we made a mistake. Maybe Quasey was on Twitter too much, listening to the fan base. I'm just saying. But I'll pass it to you. Pass it back to you, Mike.
All right. First off, I agree with your point about Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Must wins. I don't care that they're international games. I don't care. You have to win those games. You get to 4-1. You're a lot closer to ending the streak of 08-09 being our last back-to-back seasons of the playoffs. I am sick and tired of seeing that graphic of Brett Favre. I have his jersey in my closet. I am sick and tired of seeing Brett Favre talked about anymore. Please, Kevin, for love of God. Anyway, but I don't feel him. I tried to tell people. I love the video of him and his daughter jumping up down. We're going back home. It's wonderful. Great. I tried to tell people, why on God's green earth are we acquiring a 35-year-old wide receiver? Take the name out of it, which is what I tried to tell people multiple times. The oldest wide receiver in the entire league when Carolina had all the leverage. You gave up a 4th-round pick for a 35-year-old receiver who's playing his last year of his career probably this season. And what that makes me more upset, they almost acquired Kendrick Bourne, who's already done more with San Francisco off the couch, essentially. I know he was on a training camp. I think it was maybe New England cut him. Doesn't matter. He went to a offense that he used to be a part of, reuniting himself with Kyle Shanahan, and instantaneously only playing 2 games, not 3, 70-something yards receiving. We could have got him for basically a bag of peanuts. Instead, we give an actual draft asset. As low as it is, I don't care. A 4th-round pick is too much for a 35-year-old receiver.
So
and one last thing, because I'm going to forget. The amount of people that ripped on me for months when I said, bring in Keenan Allen, bring in Keenan Allen, bring in Keenan Allen, bring in Keenan Allen. Look how damn good Keenan Allen has been back in the Chargers. I'm sick and tired of people having the purple shaded glasses and having all their decisions made that way. It drives me nuts. KJ Osborne, people were talking about him too. Where is he? Do you even know what team he's on? I don't actually know if he's signed anywhere this year. I generally don't know if he's still a free agent because I know Washington cut him recently. I actually don't know if he's on a 53.
Yeah,
he generally may not be.
So not on anybody's roster right now.
There you go. And how many people were clamoring for him to come back? It's that purple positivity that we have. Like, yeah, okay, great. KJ's part of the 33 early comeback, but you got to learn to detach yourself. I do it all the time. I love Jared Allen. I loved it, but when they moved on, it was time to move on. That's it. That's how it is.
And thinking about that when you talk, I'm glad you said Jared Allen, and I want to kind of bring back the Dallas Turner situation. Like, people forget we had Jared Allen and we had Ray Edwards and all that guy. Who was the young guy in the background learning everything? And next thing you know, he got a fat contract and was a star.
Are you asking me, or like Dash Yates or Everson Griffin?
Danielle Hunter.
Or Danielle. I was also thinking Everson Griffin, but same both of them are both applicable. They're both applicable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like both of those guys. It just shows like sometimes you gotta wait. And I just feel like maybe it's the 1st-round draft pick situation that people just like, oh my God, he hasn't played down. But yeah. And back to Thielen, I just don't know, man. I hope they can have some special packages for him, down the line.
Catch a 2-yard screen for a touchdown.
It's kind of hard now because Jalen Naylor has been playing well. He just haven't been able to get the ball. No one's been able to get the ball to him. I don't know.
Been my guy since day one, since we drafted him from Michigan State. People crapped on me on that, but always too injury prone. I had backed and defended Naylor since day one. I knew that guy had something.
You think he stays?
I hope. God, the thing is, he's probably going to play himself out of Minnesota. He's probably going to.
I say he could stay for maybe like a 2-year deal, second year on some void money. That'd be fine because where is he going to be?
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard because he's going to like, this is the thing. Again, I'm not trying to crap on KJ, but he's a great comp. KJ, who I don't think is better than Jalen Naylor, by the way. I don't. I never did. That's why he replaced him pretty much without anyone really caring. He's going to make probably 12 to 15 million on the open market if he plays well. Like, and they can't pay him that. They just can't. But someone else can. That's the thing with free agency. There will be a team, Tennessee, Cleveland, that's so desperate for a guy who could stretch the field. And I got to be honest with Jalen Naylor. He's really performed the last couple of seasons. Like, he was really good for us last year. People forget when Addison was hurt, he stepped up.
Oh.
And he's been good this year too. He just hasn't gotten the ball. Like, again, you mentioned the Atlanta game. I might as well continue it. He was wide open down the field.
Yeah.
Wide open. Wanting that ball. He scores. He catches that football.
Yeah. And that changes the trajectory of the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's where I've said. I'm not going to go on a whole tangent. Jalen Naylor, though, we're staying positive, folks. Yeah. Jalen Naylor's been really good this season. And that's why Keenan Allen, or Adam Thielen, I wish we had Keenan Allen. Adam Thielen is wide receiver 4, and that's it. Forget it. That's what he is.
And it's crazy because you said like wide receiver 4. And I'm not laughing at Adam Thielen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not laughing. But he might really be wide receiver 5, think about it. Because Miles Price is the receiver that actually gets more player time to him. I'm just saying, it's the truth because Miles Price is going to play. He's going to play on the punt
Well, if you're
return.
talking about snaps, yeah.
Get more
Like
snaps.
legitimate usage in the team, yeah, probably. You're not wrong. Because by the way, glad you mentioned Miles Price. Shout out to special teams.
Yes.
Ryan Wright. Oh, I was so wrong. We were all wrong about turning on Ryan Wright. That guy has been fantastic this season. Thank God Kwesi kept him around. His holding has been immaculate with Reichert on all these deep kicks. And he's been a top 10 punter this season per PFF. And will the throw Reichert? Jesus. Please just don't be Blair Walsh 2.0. That's all I ask. Please don't fade from here. I still have nightmares about Blair Walsh starting as fast as he did, and then how quickly it all. Just please be a nail driver. That's all I ask. Please.
Think about Ryan Wright. What they did, they brought in competition in the offseason.
That they did. Yep.
And sometimes you have to do that with players. I understand we go back to McCarthy or whatever like that. Like in the back of McCarthy's head, he knows that Brosmer isn't a threat to his job right now. He understands that Carson Wentz isn't a threat to his job as of right now, unless
Same with Sam Howell.
He
wasn't going to do anything, even if he even made the team.
Exactly. So I just think that sometimes, like some players, they need that extra push. And with Ryan Wright, I mean, they could have actually kept the guy, because I think he was an Australian kicker, and they could have basically kept him on a roster and not wasted a roster spot because of the league rule. But they gave Wright the job, and he's been playing well. And just think about special teams, for example. Last night, the Arizona Cardinals lose the game because the special teams, the kicker does not kick it in the right spot, and he basically gives them field goals. The game winner. Like, kicking is important, guys. Like, it's really important, like especially in this day and age. But so let's keep it moving.
There's a reason why the first place offense and first place defense Chargers missed the playoffs, because they had the dead last. I think it was 32nd in the league special teams. Special teams is a massive phase. All three phases win you football games. Yes, they do.
All three phases. So, Mike, let me get three key players that you want to look at on either side of the ball.
Okay.
It can be Steelers or it can be Vikings.
Okay, so both teams. So 3 and 3 or just 3 in general total?
3 in general.
Okay. Carson Wentz. I don't think that's a very difficult choice. I think Wentz has to be, you have your eyes on him. I'll go Jalen Ramsey for the Steelers. Because if Jefferson puts him on ice, forget it. And I'm going to say this too. Jefferson's due that 120-yard game. You know it's coming. It happens every year. We say, oh, he's not starting as fast as he could. And then there's that one game that balloons his average. By the way, it's crazy. He has a 95-yard average per game in his career. That's insane. Anyway, number 3, Dallas Turner. Go and make your mark, kid. Let this be the first game where you say, I've arrived. And I think the Steelers are the perfect team. Their quarterback can't move. He ain't 20, 32, 33-year-old Aaron Rodgers. He ain't escaping anymore. You get by, you've got a very high chance of creating either an incomplete pass or a sack, or possibly an interception. Who knows? That'd be nice, or a forced fumble. I think Turner is the key, because without Gink, you need him to be productive, because they're going to try to double Grenard. They're going to try to take him out of the game. You've got to win your one-on-ones, Dallas Turner. You've got to.
I think he can. I think he
will. I believe in him.
I think he's ready, man. I really do. So my 3 will be, you should already know, I'm going with Jordan Mason first. Just follow the game you had. Come on, O'Connell. Just feed him the ball, especially on the on the short downs, the 2nd and 1, the 3rd and 2. Just feed Mason. Beat this team up early. That's what I want to see. And I'm a big Jordan Addison guy. I think we're going to see a huge game from Jordan Addison. And why I'm saying that is because I think that Jalen Ramsey is going to focus so much on Jefferson and all the jarring and going back and forth. Like, who's going to guard Addison? I hear, Porter Jr., he might not be available for this game. We don't know, but I don't even think it matters, because I think Addison is just that good. And so I'm thinking I'm going to have a big game with Jordan Addison. And for 3, let me think if I can pick a Steeler. I would say Aaron Rodgers will be a player to watch because I mean he's Aaron Rodgers. Being from Southern California, Aaron Rodgers with the Cows. Like I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, always was. But I think this should be his last season. Too bad he got to play against his Vikings and take this L. But I would say those are my 3. Jordan Mason, keep running that ball hard. Addison, you're back. Go ahead and burn whoever's guarding you, and let's just see how much is left in the tank with Aaron Rodgers. Let's just see. Let's just see.
Jordan Mason, by the way, that acquisition does not get enough love. We stole him. I know the Niners, obviously they didn't want to pay his second contract. That's why they traded him to us, right? Because we're going to be paying him a nice chunk of change this offseason.
Do it.
As we should. Because he's our draft pick essentially at running back. Like we've needed a young guy for a while. Aaron Jones, I love you, appreciate you. You are going to be still a very valuable part of this offense, but your touches have came down significantly now. They have.
You can see how Mason can control this game.
Yeah. Look at the trenches. I mean, when have we had trenches like this? We were able to maul the Cincinnati Bengals, who, by the way, have a decent defensive line with Trey Hendrickson in there, like they do. Also, I have to touch on this guy. How we didn't mention TJ Watt at some point. You can't let him wreck the game. Just have to throw that out there. But Darisaw, it's almost like you don't think of these star edges anymore with Darisaw in there or with O'Neal. Like,
because we neutralized him.
We neutralized. I mean, Hendrickson, he was on a milk carton. Did you notice him during the? Honest to God, I did not notice Trey Hendrickson the entire game.
I bet you somebody in the organization for the Bengals is like, see, that's why we're not going to pay him. That's why we're not going to pay him. Right? Like, I know they were doing that, but yeah, I mean, our guys on the outside, the 2 tackles are great.
They're fantastic, and I just feel like the Steelers are a team that we should beat. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I just believe in this team that much. This defense is that good. This O-line is starting to come around. They got to stop giving up so many sacks, which is why it's a damn shame that Donovan Jackson got injured out of nowhere with his wrist. But he's going to be back after the bye, so it's fine. We'll take it. Hey, I'll take baby injuries. With this team, with what happened a couple years ago, I'll take baby injuries all day long and work our way back because I still have flashbacks. Anything to not acquire a journeyman quarterback and try to win meaningless games, I'm all good with. I feel good about this game. I genuinely do. Make Chris Boswell kick a lot of field goals and force them into a lot of mistakes. So I think you can honestly do that. I do.
Yeah. So we giving keys to how the Vikings could win this game. Now let's just play devil's advocate. What can go wrong in this game that can just shipwreck this whole situation? And we can be like, oh my God, we're in a situation again to where, man, like we're looking at 2-2. Like my opinion, I know it's the obvious situation would be the quarterback. If the quarterback doesn't go out there and play, decent and does the right things, gets the right throws. But I will always piggyback the quarterback with the coaching staff, with play calling. I just hope that Kevin O'Connell doesn't come into this game as like, well, Carson Wentz looked good last game. Let's just sling this around now. You get what I'm saying? And
give him the whole offense to work with.
Give him the whole.
Yeah, that might not be a good idea.
Yeah, like, nah, you got to keep it simple. And another thing on the opposite side of the ball, maybe I'm concerned about DK Metcalf, being so much bigger than our corners, and he's a physical guy. He's fast, he's physical. So I'm not saying that Murphy couldn't handle
Who would you put on him? Would you put Byron?
This is going to sound odd. Depending on how they line up, I will put Okudah on him first just to beat him up.
Oh, dear Lord. I'm going to go on mute.
No, it's not like to stop him. I just think like with receivers, they're all about rhythm. They're all about rhythm and technique, right? So whenever you can get them off of the technique, they kind of like make mistakes. I will start the game just Okudah beating him up. maybe get a couple a penalty here and there just to beat him up, and then move him, and then move.
I promise he'll get you the penalty real quick. It won't take long.
I'm fine with that.
Just take a 5-yard legal contact penalty and move on.
I'm fine with that. Like I know Isaiah Rodgers is fast, but if you look at like the measurements, DK is so much bigger. But I'm hearing that they don't even have another receiver. I think they have Roman Wilson from Michigan.
Wilson and Calvin Austin and Ben Saronic. Those are their next guys.
They're coming out there with 3 tight end sets.
So, well, it's Arthur Smith. My God, that guy is living in 1990. He plays some of the most boring football of all time. I'm convinced poor Jonnu Smith, he finally breaks out of Miami, and then he has to deal with Arthur Smith again. Poor guy. I mean, what did he do to have to go back in that offense?
So I don't think he didn't deploy.
No, I'll say this though about our corners. They compared to DK Metcalf, they are like mini me. They are. And it does worry me. But I will say they played pretty well against T. Higgins, he's not as strong. Like DK Metcalf might as well look like a bodybuilder. Like genuinely, the guy looks like a genetic freak. But they did hold their own against T. Higgins with the jump balls and stuff. Like, if you really look at what's screwed the Vikings offense over or defense over in the years, is offense with quick screens. Like Bijan with all the quick screens offense Atlanta was implementing, Drake London, that type of offense with Jamar Chase, well, until he fumbled, I guess. Had to get that in there. We saw who the number 1 receiver in the NFL is. That was proven last week. But I'm not worried, because DK needs those long developing plays. Like, he's not a guy who's going to kill you on slants. He's not. He's quick, but he's not that agile. Like you're not worried about him getting a ton of yak. He's too big. So I think the Vikings will be okay, and I think our pressure will be the difference. That interior pressure, we've seen it. Thank God. It feels so good to have Jalen Redmond and Levi Drake Rodriguez, unsung hero of this defense this season. Yes. He's been unbelievable, and it's easy to tell when he's making plays because he might as well have the Troy Polamalu hair at the back of his helmet. He's got the giant flow. I'm happy for him. Hey, you know what Levi Drake Rodriguez is? A Kwesi draft pick. Would you look at that? 7th round pick. Kwesi draft pick, by the way.
Right. And you got to count Redmond in there too, because Redmond didn't play any national football. He was basically
that was a great move. Yeah,
a spring football player, and I'm gonna say this right now while people are listening and while they're watching it. If you saw the stream last week on Saturday, I'm dialing it back. There are young guys on this team that are developing. They are.
Oh yeah.
Look at this defensive line and look at this offensive line. Just think about it. Levi Drake Rodriguez. You got Jalen Redmond. You got the other guy from Georgia, Tyron Ingram Dawkins.
Tyron Ingram Dawkins.
Yeah, Tyron Ingram Dawkins.
He's good too.
He's
solid.
This D-line is looking solid. And if Brian Flores has situations where he can have a hockey sub and just take guys out and bring fresh legs in, he can do that now. And if you look on the offensive side of the ball, you got another Kwesi draft pick. At guard, he might not play. Jackson might not play.
He's not be playing. But Donovan Jackson, he's been very, very good so far.
But
very good.
Let's talk about Jerkins for a little bit. Jerkins has not been bad. He's been solid. He's young.
He's at least this is the thing I'll give him, where I give him a mulligan, unlike Bradbury. He wasn't a first-round pick. And for where they took him, you could see the seasoning is needed.
Exactly.
You can see he still needs time.
This guy right
but
here.
He didn't. But the nice thing is, he's not getting game wrecked. Like I still cannot get the flashbacks out of my mind about Garrett Bradbury getting completely mollywopped off the line at times. It was embarrassing. He takes a lot of penalties, which is killing his PFF grade.
Right.
But he's not wrecking games. You could see that was the main emphasis of this offensive line and defensive line. On the defensive side of the ball, wreck games. On the offensive side of the ball, do not wreck games for us. Right. Do not be the reason why we're losing. Kevin O'Connell took it seriously after that Lions and Rams losses consecutively, week 18 and that wild card weekend loss. He said, we need to fix this. And they did it immediately. And by the way, Ryan Kelly, whew, I'm so happy to see him back. It's a massive, massive plus. I love myself some big hog mollies that could pass block. It's great.
Yeah,
and he's a mauler. Like Jordan Mason might go for I'm going to try to be a little bit unbiased, 110 yards rushing at least, because it could happen with the Steelers. If they played, they did a good. I don't know if you watched that week 1 game against the Jets. Breece Hall had his way the entire game. They could not. If they stopped the run like they did against New York, we are winning this game easily. Because that game was a shootout. They ain't having no shootout with us. We've allowed 22 points. Basically, is our highest amount. Basically, we get a ball. I know that I think it was the Bears 24. I want to say maybe, but again, the 2 instances where we gave up a decent amount of points, our offense literally did nothing for a majority of the game. Right. So Steelers are in big trouble because these trenches, they've lived up to what you've wanted them to be for the most part, and that's why we have a 2-1 record, hopefully a 3-1 record after this week in London. Are you excited for getting up early though in the morning? Are you excited for that?
Hey, it's football. If my Vikings, I'm gonna be up for it. It doesn't matter. It's 2 weeks in a row. It doesn't matter. Like I'm gonna be up for it. Like I can't wait. It's early. It's gonna be the first game. I don't have to really flick the screen for anything. Look at any other thing else. It's the first game. Boom, and then I can watch Baltimore later on. So it can't get no better than that. But the Vikings got to come in there and win this game. So Mike, you got a score prediction?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go, okay, maybe not that high. 30-13. Why not? Why not? Why not? You know what? I'm not scared of the Steelers offense.
So you said
I'm not. Yeah. If Carson Wentz can play just a 2 to 5% better than he did a week ago, I mean, what's going to stop this team from destroying the Steelers? Because Wentz looked pretty good. And by the way, TJ Hawkinson's back. For everybody who wanted to jump on that guy, I tried to tell him, he tore his damn knee.
It takes time.
Bad. It takes that first year back is, unless you're Adrian Peterson, which I know we're Viking fans, and we saw the magical year with a torn ACO and MCL recovery. That guy might as well be a genetic freak. You talk about I know genetic freak gets thrown around a little. That guy is literally a one-of-one athlete.
Well, with TJ, it took him like maybe a month and a half just to have the surgery because the swelling had to go down.
That too, yes.
So it's kind of like he was already behind. I mean, he's the top 5 tight end in the league in my opinion.
He is. Yes, thank you. He is.
But the blocking in the past couple of games has gotten a whole lot better.
Which has helped him. Yep.
McCarthy run when McCarthy runs in the end zone. That's TJ with a key block. Like let's just give him the credit. Like he's a good tight end. You have to give him the ball. You just have to.
Yeah, you do. I was so happy when he got that touchdown.
You said 30, right? So is this 30 a blowout? Because if it's a blowout, that means we might see Brosmer again.
Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Let him throw his first NFL touchdown, right? Let's make him, his dreams come true like Disneyland. But in all seriousness, it wouldn't shock me. Again, it really depends on how the offense plays. I'm not scared about the defense. As long as again, knock on wood, as always, you got to put that out there. If we stay healthy, I don't see how the Steelers present problems because what I think is going to be a carbon copy of the Bengals game. Now, I know Rodgers is obviously far better than Jake Browning, and yes, that's why we cut you, Jake Browning. I couldn't help myself. Sorry. If we stop the run, they're going to be one-dimensional. And they don't have the game changers on their passing offense to scare us. Gianno's a solid tight end. He had a great breakout season last year at like 29 years old or whatever it was. He's not an elite tight end, okay? He's not. He's not one of the guys. He's not the George Kittles. You know what I mean? The Brock Bowers, the TJ Hawkins. He's not that guy. The Kelce's, Mark Andrews, whatever. He's not that tier. He's just not. And like you said, after DK, who are you scared of that offense? Genuinely, who are you scared of? It's pick your poison. Like it's not pick your poison. It's really just take your chances with the next man up. Honestly, wouldn't be shocked if the Vikings double DK a little bit. in this game if it's so obvious how one-dimensional they are. We'll see how it goes, but wouldn't shock me at all. We'll see. I think it's going to be ugly, yeah. I do. As long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot and play smart.
I'm always down for a blowout because when a blowout, the younger players on the team can kind of get some reps, and then the starters can sit back and rest, put their baseball caps on. I'm down for that because I don't really care about the stats like as of right now. Like the biggest stat is winning the game and moving on to the next game because the season, like we said before, the season is just going to get a lot harder. And if they can pull off that 30 burger and they only score the rest of their points throughout the game when they're playing against the second streamers, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because then you got a good defense next week with Cleveland. Cleveland that basically upset the Green Bay Packers. I mean, it can happen. It can happen, but I will be interested to see how Darisaw is going to do against Myles Garrett. I want to see that. I want to see that matchup. So blow these guys out, put the kids to bed, put the baseball caps on, have some fun on the sideline. I'm cool with that. But Mike, we ready to get out of here. So you got anything else you want to say?
What's your score prediction?
24-7.
Oh, jeez. Not even 10? Wow. I'd love to see that. Anything else I got to say? Let me think. Believe, you know what? I'll say it. I can't believe it's coming from my mouth of all people. Believe in this team. Trust this coach. And stop crapping on and trying to find negatives of this organization. Like, Quasi's doing a good job. I know everyone wants to jump on him, and his drafts haven't been great. There's been a lot of things that are unforeseen circumstances, bad situations. I'm not going to get into that. You know kind of what I'm referring to.
Yes.
Rest in peace. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not even going to get into that. Quasi's done a really good job. Like, has it been pretty, beautiful? No.
On and off
good.
the field.
Pardon?
On and off the field.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there's only so much you can do, but his drafts are coming around. Like, they are. And people need to start adapting to understand Jordan Mason, TJ Hawkinson. They're not quote unquote draft picks, but he uses draft capital to acquire those players. He like, that matters. And he's different. He's not Rick Spielman. He doesn't like having 13, 12, 11 picks. And he doesn't care. He'll have 6 to 7, sometimes 8 or 9, and that's what it is. Because he believes in quality over quantity, and it's starting to come around. You're seeing it now with this team. You are. And he doesn't get enough credit for the UDFAs either. Like, they've done a good job. They found a lot of UDFAs that have made this team, that have had a role on this team. Like Ivan Pace, I know he hasn't had a good season. That might as well have been a draft pick. Because what annoys me, had we taken Ivan Pace instead of Dwayne McBride, people look at that draft class differently. Like, that's dumb. They're on your team, and to be honest, they're actually cheaper when they're UDFA anyway. So it is what it is. Just believe in this team. I truly believe this is the year we end that drought of back-to-back playoff years, which, thank the Lord, by the way. Let's hope that happens.
I just think that fans, they listen to certain media outlets and they kind of like develop their opinion with that. And I think they get too caught up into, oh, he's an analytic guy. But just like you point out a lot, with the 3 seasons, right? First season was 13 games. Second season, they probably make the playoffs that season if Kirk stays healthy. Let's just be honest about that. And then the next season with Sam Darnold, they win 14 games. You have to give Quasi credit, for that roster and putting those players, on the field. And also you got to give him credit too on things that's not on the field, with the way he handles things and the way he basically came in here and cleaned up the salary cap fast. Got rid of aging veterans, Adam Thielen. Don't know why you brought him back, but hey, just go ahead and bring Cook back too if you add it. If you just do that. But it was kind of hard for fans to be like, oh, these mainstays, but their production didn't match what their contracts was. And Quasi understood that to go out there that, okay, we're going to take this big cap hit this year and be able to go out in free agency and actually just start patching up situations while we develop guys on the back end of the roster, just like you said, with undrafted free agents, with kids that are late in the draft. That's something that he's done. So you have to give him credit for that. I just think that, like, some Viking fans, it just annoys me because they just only want to talk about, Andrew Booth didn't pan out, Lewis Cine didn't
Kyle Hamilton. If I hear about Kyle Hamilton one more time.
Okay.
Oh, dear Lord.
Kyle Hamilton is so damn good. What the hell happened the last game against Okay. I'm just gonna get that out of there right now. Like
I tried to tell people. I'm not saying he's bad, by the way.
He's not
but
bad,
make no mistake about it. His all-pro seasons don't happen in Minnesota. They don't.
This is the thing I like.
They don't.
I about Kyle Hamilton, right? This is what just irks me with the Kyle Hamilton situation.
Yeah.
You had Harrison Smith, which was 3 years ago, still on the roster, and then you had emerging Cam Bynum, and then you had Josh Metellus on the roster.
Yes.
What the hell where he's going to play? You see the problem you had with Lewis Cine? He couldn't get on the field.
No.
That was the main problem. Like,
no. That was just a bad pick. That's what people don't understand. We just didn't need a safety, and we forced a dumb pick. That's the only real mistake we made was not just sticking and picking Jordan Davis. If we did that, no one would care because he would have been a solid. By the way, did you see his touchdown on the blocked kick last week? Yeah. Oh, it was hilarious. It looked like Derrick Henry eating another 5 to 10 cheeseburgers. Oh, it was great. Oh, it was fantastic seeing him run down the field. Reminding me of Linval back in the day.
All he needed was the.
He did need the oxygen mask. But I'm just sick and tired of it. I really am, because give this team credit and give this management credit. Like, when have you, this is the thing that bothers you. Everyone talks about draft picks. Yes, they are the most important way to build a roster. Not going to debate that or dispute that whatsoever. Good luck finding a GM ever using free agency better than Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah in the modern NFL. It is extremely difficult, and he did it again. Isaiah Rodgers. We witnessed greatness last week, and I don't just say that.
Not just Isaiah Rodgers. Let's talk about Hargrave and Allen.
Yes, Hargrave's been good all year.
He's been guys that were cut where it doesn't affect the comp pick.
Correct.
Situation. He just brings those guys in, and then you're still going to get comp picks for Daniel Jones and for Sam Darnold, and for Sam Darnold down the line to have more picks. Come on, just leave quick.
No, he doesn't get his credit. But that's the thing. Oh, Kwesi's getting cute. It's always, they always find a way. One other thing I want to say about Kwesi as a shout out. A lot of people were worried when they traded Harrison Phillips. I don't miss Harrison Phillips, and I was his biggest fan of this fan base. Not one iota. This D-line is young, fast, and athletic. That is a real problem in the interior.
Okay, I missed them in the Atlanta game. I'm going to admit.
Fair enough.
Atlanta game, I was like, hey, it was maybe Harrison Phillips, because you know how it is when you're a fan of a team.
Like, of course, yeah.
When you lose a game that you're supposed to win, you're disappointed. Yep. The first thing comes to mind is like, well, they're running the ball. Who's the run stopping guy that's not here? And then, you know, so I got to give Brian Flores the benefit of the doubt because we're only in week 4. I got to give Kevin O'Connell the benefit of the doubt because we're only in week 4. So, yeah. But let's get out of here, Mike.
Okay, can I say one last thing? Yeah. I'm glad we lost to Atlanta. I truly believe it will be a blessing in disguise for this team. Sometimes you need to be punched them off early this season. I'll let you go now. My apologies.
No, it's cool. Well, all right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to us on this live. We've been trying to schedule this for the past couple of days. Finally got to it. Mike, I'm gonna ask you to come on even more. I mean, because it's an 18-week season. We're gonna have
I'd be happy to.
And the Vikings never stayed normal. So
no. No.
Yeah. It's always things. So I'm gonna end it with this. Skol.